So yes, students, we are done till question number 3. Let's do question number 4 now. This question 4, when I look at it, it seems to be a part of mensuration, isn't it? I see sector being formed here, and from that sector I see a cone getting formed, isn't it? Let us read the question properly and then attempt it. So here the diagram shows a sector of a circle that is made into a cone by joining OA to OB. Guys, be very careful about this statement. It says that diagram is originally a sector. What is sector? It's the portion of a circle wherein an arc is joined with the, and two radii, and they are having the same center for sure. So this figure looks like a sector, isn't it? Now what if I take this OA here, have a look. If we join this OA with OB, if I try to rotate it in such a way that this OA gets overlapped with OB, so that will convert it into a cone, isn't it? This sector converts itself into a cone, right? So what is going to happen? We see that this AB, the length of this arc AB, is now converted into the base circle of the cone, isn't it, guys? So that will, it will help us in finding out the remaining of the missing quantities. So we will take care of that. I'll just erase it. We will just read the question one more time. So I hope it's clear what is happening. This sector with the radii OA and OB, OA and OB are joined together, radius being 7.5. So the slant height of this cone becomes 7.5 centimeter, and the base radius is given to us as 1.5 centimeter. Let us read the question. The diagram shows a sector of a circle that is made into a cone by joining OA to OB. The sector angle is x degrees. We are being given with the sector angle here. This is x degrees, and the radius of the sector is 7.5 centimeter. The base radius of the cone is 1.5 centimeter. Calculate the value of x. That means they want us to find out the angle that is getting formed by the arc at the center of the circle, isn't it? Let us start doing it. I'll just reduce its size a little bit so that we get more space for our working. Yeah, that's much better now. Okay, so this question is of 3 marks, guys. So we need to be very careful about all the relevant steps that we need to put in over here. So yes, let us first of all write what is being given. We are being given with the sector radius. I'll write it as radius of sector, let us take it as a small r, is given to us as 7.5 centimeter, and also we are being given the base radius of cone. So base radius of cone, let us take it as r dash, that is given to us as 1.5 centimeter. What else is given? We are only being given with the sector angle, or the value of x, I should say, right? The sector angle. Sector angle is given to us as x degrees, right? This is the information already given to us. Now guys, think about that angle x. Do we have any relation with the sector angle and the length of the arc? Yes, we know that the length of the arc of a sector is equal to theta upon 360 multiplied with 2 pi r, where theta is the sector angle and r is the radius of the sector. That we know. So I'm just going to write it. Since length of arc is equal to theta upon 360 times 2 pi r. So this implies that what is the length of arc here? Length of arc will be the length of AB. So AB is equal to, what is theta? Theta is x degree upon 360 degrees times 2 pi, and r is 7.5 centimeter. Isn't it, guys? This is what it looks like. Now if I compare this with the cone which gets formed by the same sector, I see that this circle, or I should say, I'll just change the color. Yeah, this base radius, or I should say the base circle, is actually the length of AB. That means if I find the circumference of this base circle, it will be equal to the length of AB. And what is the formula for finding out the circumference of the base or any circle? That is simply 2 pi r, right? Let us write it over here. Here in this case now, AB can be written as 2 pi provided the radius of the base circle is 1.5. So I'll just write it as r dash for the time being. So this is x degrees upon 360 degree times 2 pi times 7.5 centimeter. Right, guys? What I see over here, that we can cancel this 2 pi with the 2 pi, and we know what is r dash. R dash is actually 1.5 centimeter, and here we have x degrees, and here we have 360 degree times 7.5 centimeter. Isn't it, guys? Let us quickly transpose it. When I transpose it, I see that this 7.5 centimeter will move down as the denominator of 1.5. So it will be 1.5 upon 7.5 equals to x upon 360 degree, isn't it? And when I solve it, I see that 1.5 cancels 7.5 5 times, and here 1 time. So it is going to be 1 upon 5 equals to x upon 360 degrees. So when I transpose 360 to the other side, I see that 360 is going to get divided by 5. That will result into 72 degrees, guys. So this is what looks like to be the angle of the sector. X is equal to 72 degree. How did we find it? We simply have done one thing, that first we wrote the length of the arc AB in terms of the sector angle and the radius of the sector, and since the length of arc is same as the circumference of the base circle of the given cone, we equated it and we got the remaining value. So x comes out to be 72 degrees. Right, guys? This is how this needs to be done. Note it down for your reference so that you can solve such questions in the future. And then let us move ahead to the next part of question 4. Question 4 part A is done. What is given in part B? Oh, so we are having two shapes here. One is a sphere and the other is the cylinder. Just by looking at it, I see that there is a sphere inside which we have a cylinder embedded. Let us read the question. The diagram shows a cylinder with radius 8 centimeter inside a sphere with radius 17 centimeter. Guys, what is given to us? If I look at it, I see that we are being given with the radius of the cylinder as 8 centimeter. So this is the center. These are the base circles. So this is given as 8 centimeter. Right, this is 8 centimeter. And what else is given? We are being given with the radius of the sphere as 17 centimeter. So if we take this to be the center of the sphere, this radius is given to us as 17 centimeter. Isn't it, guys? Are we clear with this? The radius of the cylinder is given as 8 centimeter, while the radius of the sphere is given to us as 17 centimeter. Now let us read what else is given. Both ends of the cylinder touch the curved surface of the sphere. Show that the height of the cylinder is 30 centimeter. If I talk about the height, guys, what would be the height? Height of the cylinder is this. isn't it? This is the height of the cylinder. So we need to tell that from this point till this point, the length or the height is 30 centimeter. So what should we do for that, guys? Let us first analyze this figure. If I look at this figure, I see that from this point till this point, definitely when we join it, it is going to be the radius of the sphere. So that means if I join this point on the sphere with the center, I'll again get the radius. That means from here till here it is 17 centimeter, isn't it, guys? And we see that in this triangle, the triangle which is getting formed, this is 8 centimeter and this is 90 degree, isn't it, guys? This triangle is of 90 degrees. So if I take this to be x from this point till this point, I see that I can find out the value of x by using the Pythagoras theorem, isn't it? In a right angle triangle, we know that the square of the longest side of the right triangle is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. Let us use that. For that, it would be better that if we name this triangle, let this center be O, let this be A, and let this point be B. So now, let us first of all write what is being given to us. Let us take the radius of the sphere, I should say cylinder. Let us take a radius of cylinder is given to us as 8 centimeter and radius of sphere is given to us as 17 centimeter, right, guys? Let us now look at it. In a right triangle, OAB, OB square is equals to OA square plus AB square. How did we get this? By Pythagoras theorem. Is it? So let us substitute the values which are being given. OB, do we know? Yes, it's 17, so it will be 17 square. What is OA? OA is not known and we have taken it to be x. So it's x square, and AB happens to be 8. So it would be 8 square. So we know what is 17 square. 17 square is nothing but 289 equals to x square plus 64 being the square of 8. I'll transpose this 64 on the other side. So it will get subtracted from 289. So this is going to be 225 x square. So x is equal to under root of 225. Right, guys? So we get the value of x as 15 centimeter because we know the square root of 225 is 15. Guys, now we got the value of x over here. So just pay a close attention over here. Since OA is x, this O, if I name it, let us name it. Let this point be C and let this point be D. So OA and OC will be same. OA is x, so OC is also x. So if OA is x, OC will also be the same value of x, that is 15 centimeter. So the height AC, that is the height of the cylinder, is equals to x plus x, that will result into 30, and that only we needed to show. Let us do it over here. Now, height of cylinder is equals to OA plus OC. So height is equals to, what is OA? We just found it out to be 15 centimeter, and OC is also 15 centimeter. So we just have proved that the height of this cylinder is nothing but 30 centimeter. right? This is what we needed to show. So just write it down for your reference. I know sometimes the space given to us is a bit less, so you can skip few statements, and this is simply done for your understanding. You may skip the not required statements, but you will have to show the calculation. So we just have shown the height to be 30 centimeter, right? Note it down, and then we'll move to the next part of this question. Let us move ahead. Here it's part B of this, in which second question says calculate the volume of the cylinder as a percentage of the volume of the sphere. Guys, we need to find out the volume of both the shapes first of all, that is cylinder and the sphere, and we need to calculate the volume of cylinder as percentage of the sphere, right? For that, I think definitely we will be in the need of calculator, so be ready with it. You also are being given the volume V of a sphere with radius R is 4 by 3 pi r cube. We already know this. Do we remember the volume of a cylinder? Volume of a cylinder is what? Volume of cylinder is pi r square h. So we are going to use that. Let us make more space for our working. Yup, I hope it's still visible to all of you. Let us take the radius of a sphere. Radius of a sphere, we will take it to be small r, and that is given to us as 17 centimeter. Then radius of cylinder, we will take it to be r dash, and it is given to us as 8 centimeter, and we just found out the height of cylinder, and the height of cylinder we will take as a small h. We just found it out to be 30 centimeter, right? This information is known to us. Let us first find out the volume of sphere. Volume of a sphere, as we know, the formula is 4 by 3 pi r cube. Let us substitute the values. If we substitute the values, 4 upon 3 times pi, we will take it as 3.142, and radius of the sphere is 17, so it will be 17 cube, right? Let us quickly use our calculator to find the values. So the calculator is definitely needed here, and let us quickly use it to find the answer. So yes, we have 4 to be multiplied with 3.142, it results into this. That multiplies with 17 times 17 times 17, and then we will divide this whole thing by 3. So guys, we are getting somewhat this comes out to be 20,582.2 centimeter cube. What are we getting? We are getting 20,582.2 centimeter cube. This is the volume of sphere. We are going to take it as capital V. Now let us find out the volume of cylinder. Volume of cylinder, we'll take it as V dash. We know the formula, it is pi r square h, isn't it? Let us substitute the values. What is pi? 3.142. The radius of the cylinder is 8 centimeter, so it will be 8 square multiplied with its height, that is 30. This all would be in centimeter cube. Let us quickly find out its value as well. Let us use our calculator. It will be 3.142 to be multiplied with 64, being the square of 8, multiplied with 30. That makes it 6,032.6 centimeter cube. So guys, we just got the volume of sphere as well as the volume of cylinder. Now we need to calculate the volume of cylinder as a percentage of the volume of sphere. Guys, very important part, I'm giving you a trick. Whatever value or term comes after the of, in this case it is the volume of a sphere, we need to put it as the denominator. Okay, so volume of a sphere will be taken as the denominator. So let us do that. We need to find the percentage, so it will be volume of cylinder as the numerator, that comes out to be 6032.6 centimeter cube upon volume of a sphere, that is 20,582.2 centimeter cube multiplied with 100%, right? Let us find its value as well quickly by using our calculator. So we have 6032.6 divided by 20582.2, that results into this, multiplied with 100%. So we are getting it to be 29.3%. This is the answer, guys. This is the required answer. It is giving us the volume of cylinder as the percentage of the volume of sphere. We will write our answer here, 29.3%. I hope this question is clear. This question carries 4 marks. So be very mindful about writing all the relevant steps, right? Let's move ahead after this. I hope you already have written it. And what is the next question? Okay, again, we are having the combination of two solid figures, a cube and a sphere. Let us read the question. The diagram shows a solid sphere with radius 6 centimeter inside a cube. I see here that this is a cube and this is the solid sphere kept inside the cube, and this cube is filled with some water that also is visible clearly in this figure. The cube contains water to a depth of 15 centimeter. It says that the height of this water is actually 15 centimeter. Now the sphere is removed. Guys, if the sphere gets removed, what will happen to the level of water? Think about it. If a sphere is already present inside the cube, that would have raised the original level of water by some content, right? When I remove that sphere, the volume of that sphere gets removed away, then definitely the level of water will drop down. It will get reduced a little bit, isn't it? So as the sphere is now removed, the level of water will decrease from 15 centimeter to some extent. So we need to calculate the new depth of water in the cube, right? This is what the question is. Also, we are being given that volume of a sphere with radius r is 4/3 pi r cube. Let us quickly find it out, guys. This question is quite interesting. It involves some basic concepts and the use of proper formulae related to cube and the sphere. First of all, what is being given, guys? Are we being given with the side of the cube? Yes, the side length of the cube is given to us as 20 centimeter. Let us write it. Side of cube is equal to 20 centimeter. This is the first information. Then what are being given with? Let us mark it also. This side, this is given to us as 20 centimeter. That means this side is also 20 centimeter. And the radius of the sphere, this is the sphere, so its radius is given to us as 6 centimeter, right? This is what the information is all about. Let us write it. Radius of sphere, we'll take it as small r, is given to us as 6 centimeter, right, guys? Let us find out the volume of the sphere first of all, because we know that the volume of sphere will be taken out of that cube. That will definitely help us. So what is the volume of sphere? Since volume of a sphere capital V is equals to 4 by 3 pi r cube. So this implies that capital V is equals to 4 by 3 multiplied with 3.142 times r being 6, so 6 cube centimeter cube. Isn't it, guys? Let us use our calculator again and find out its value. We are being given with 4 by 3 times 3.142 multiplied with 6 cube. So it will be, I'll multiply the numerators first, 4 times 3.142 to be multiplied with 6 times 6 times 6 divided by 3. So we are getting somewhat V, that is the volume, as 904.9 centimeter cube. Guys, this is the volume of the sphere which is kept inside the cube. Now, we will use it later on. Let us find out the volume of the water which is present inside the cube when the sphere is already inside. Okay, so let us find it out. Volume of, it will now become a cuboid, isn't it? Volume of cuboid when h is equals to 15 centimeter, right? Let us find it out. So this implies that volume would be, what is the volume of a cuboid, guys? Length times its width times its height. So what is given? Length times width times height. Let us substitute the values. What is the length? Length is 20, width is also 20, and height happens to be 15. This all would be in centimeter cube. So we can find it out orally. 20 times 20 is 400 and 400 times 15 would be 6000. So we are getting 6000 centimeter cube as the volume of the cuboid. How come it's a cuboid? I'll just show it to you so that it's quite clear. If we would have taken up till this height, then it would have been treated as a cube. But here, as this portion is left out, so this becomes a cuboid with length 20 centimeter, width 20 centimeter, and height 15 centimeter, right? That is why we have used the formula of a cuboid. Now, guys, what would happen? We have the volume of the cuboid, that is, the height of the water being 15 centimeter there, and we have the volume of sphere. The actual volume of water, what will be the actual volume of water? It will be the difference of this cuboid, the volume of cuboid, and the volume of sphere, because when I remove the sphere, I'll get the water at its original height, and that will give us the volume of the water kept inside the cube, right? Let us do that. Let us make more space for our working. Yeah, much better. Now, okay, guys, so let us write it. Volume of water will be how much? It will be the difference of this volume of cuboid, that is 6000 centimeter cube, and the volume of sphere, that happens to be 904.9 centimeter cube. So that gives us the volume of water to be, the difference of this would be what? 6000 minus 900 will give us 5100, and 5100 minus 4.9 will be 5095.1. Isn't it, guys? Because if I add 904.9 to it, it will become 6000, isn't it? Yes, correct. That will convert it into 6000. So 5095.1 centimeter cube is the volume of water. And if I talk about the volume of water will be comprising of this length this width and the height of the water. That is what we need to find, the depth of the water in the cube. So I can rewrite the volume of water to be length multiplied with width multiplied with height, isn't it? That is going to be the new depth of water. That comes out to be 5095.1 centimeter cube. So if we solve it by replacing L with 20 and W with 20, H will be as it is. Here this 20 times 20 is 400 centimeter square. So H would be 5095.1 centimeter cube upon 400 centimeter square. So this centimeter square cancels the cube. So we are left with 5095.1 divided by 400. Let us quickly find it out. Let us just divide it. We will get the answer. Just a minute, bear with me. Yes, here it is. So 5095.1 divided by 400 is nothing but 12.7 centimeter. So guys, this is the new depth of the water when the sphere is removed or taken out from the cube. I hope that is clear. Let us write it over here. Height is 12.7 centimeter. Isn't this question quite interesting? It involves so many concepts, logics as well, isn't it? Write it down for your reference. Then we will move on to the next question. Okay, students, moving ahead. Question number 5. Question number 5 is about algebra. We are being given some real life situation from which we need to form some expressions, and also we need to get equation to get the unknown value or the variable. So if I read this question carefully, I see that question number 5 part A is, in a shop the cost of a fiction book is X dollars. Guys, the cost of the fiction book is given to us in the form of a variable as it is not known to us, and it is given to us as X dollars. And the cost of a reference books is given to us as X plus $2. So we can say that the cost of reference book is actually $2 more than the cost of the fiction book. Now, the cost of 11 fiction books is the same as the cost of 10 reference books. We are being told that if you buy 11 fiction books, the cost of it would be exactly equal to the cost of 10 reference books. So we need to find the value of X. Guys, it's the simple use of algebra. Convert this condition or situation into algebraic equation. We will equate it and we'll get the value of the unknown X. Let us use this condition. Here I'll make a little bit of adjustment. Yes, much better now, and we'll move it a little bit up. It's a 2-mark question, guys, so we know what is being given. Cost of fiction book is equals to X dollars. Cost of reference book is equals to X plus $2. And what is the condition? We'll write according to the condition, we know that cost of 11 fiction books is equal to the cost of 10 reference books. Right? So if we equate it and if we open the bracket and multiply 10 with X and 2, we will get some equation. Let us write it down. Here 11 times X would be 11X, and 10 times X plus 2 would be 10X plus 20. So if I solve it, this 11X minus 10x dollars is equals to $20. That is the simple difference. 11x minus 10x will be x. So x comes out to be $20. So this is the value of x. Let us write down. I hope you are clear with this. Note it down for your reference. Then we'll move ahead to the next part of the question. So yes, let us move ahead to the next part of the question. Question 5 part B. In another shop, the cost of a fiction book is y dollars and the cost of a reference book is y plus $2. Again, it's kind of the same condition, but here now the variable is changed from x to y. But now look at the condition given to us. Maria spends $95 on fiction books and $147 on reference books. Guys, let us read it again. Maria has spent total $95 on fiction books and she has spent $147 on reference books, and she buys a total of 12 books. Show that 6y square minus 109y minus 95 equals to 0. Whatever this equation may be, let us first analyze the question, guys. How can we proceed with it? We are being given that the total number of books being bought by Maria is 12 and she has spent around $95 on fiction books and $147 on reference books. How can we get the number of reference books and the number of fiction books? Think about it. What comes to my mind is that if I divide the total money spent on fiction books by the cost of one fiction book, that will give me the number of fiction books, and same will happen with the reference books. If I divide the total cost spent on reference books by the cost of one reference book, I'll get the number of reference books, and these two numbers when added together will add up to 12. Isn't it? Let us use that concept and try to formulate an equation, and then we'll find out whether we'll reach to this equation or not. Let us get some space for our work. Yes, so here number of fiction books plus number of reference books is equal to 12. Isn't it? This is the required equation. Now if I write it, number of fiction books will be what? The total cost spent on fiction books is $95 divided by the cost of one fiction book, that is y dollars, added with the number of reference books will be the cost of the reference books, that is $147, divided by the cost of one reference book, that is y plus 2, is equals to 12. Yes guys, so now we see that these dollar signs are going to get cancelled out, and if we solve it, I see that we need to cross multiply. 95 will be getting multiplied with y plus 2, while this 147 will be getting multiplied with y, and here in denominator we will get y to be multiplied with y plus 2, that results into 12. So let us open the bracket. 95 times y would be 95y, 95 times 2 would be 190, and here we already have 147y. Upon this y times y would be y square, and y times 2 would be 2y, and this whole thing is actually equal to 12. Let us now further solve it. Here I will transpose y square plus 2y on the other side, so it will be getting multiplied with 12, and here we see that 95 will be added with 147. What will be the sum of 147 and 95? 147 plus 5 will result into 152, and 152 plus 90 will be 242. So that is what we are getting. This is going to be 242y plus 190 equals to 12 multiplies y square plus 2y. Let us solve it further. 242y plus 190 is equals to 12y square plus 24y, isn't it? Let us have all the variables and the constants on one side and let the other side be equal to 0. So if I transpose 242y and 190 on the other side, I will get it as 12y square plus 24y minus 242y minus 190 equals to 0. So herein, if we further solve it, 12y square, 24 minus 242, that is going to be negative sign for sure, because 242 is greater. So 242 minus 20 will be 222, and then it will be going to be 4 less than that, that is 218y minus 190 equals to 0. Let us take 2 common from this, as I see that all the terms are having 2 as one of its factors. So if we take out 2 common, we get 6y square minus 109y minus 95 equals to 0, and we know that this 2 can be taken to the other side to be getting divided by 0. So we'll divide 0 by 2, so that will result into 0 only. So 6y square minus 109y minus 95 is equal to 0, and that is what we needed to show. And from using the conditions, we are getting 6y square minus 109y minus 95 to be equals to 0. This is what we needed to show. Note it down for your reference, and we will use this equation further to factorize it and get the factors, and then again we will use it to get the value of y. Let us do it. You can see we need to factorize 6y square minus 109y minus 95. Let us quickly solve it and factorize it. 6y square minus 109y minus 95. Guys, to factorize it, we know that we can find the product of the first term and the last term, and then we will split the middle term in such a way that the difference or the addition of that splitting is equal to 109y only, and the product of it would be equal to the product of first term and the last term. So we are using it over here. What is the product that we are getting? Product is actually 6y square multiplied with minus 95. So if I solve it, I am going to get 570 minus 570y square, isn't it? This is what the product looks like. So I have to split minus 109y in such a way that the product of the split is equal to the minus 570y square. So if I look at 109y, I can write it as minus 114y plus 5y. Have a look. If I write minus 109y as minus 114y plus 5y, the difference will be minus 109y only, and the product, you will be amazed to see that it is simply equal to 570y square with a negative sign. So that is what is going to be the splitting. So we will write it as 6y square minus 114y plus 5y minus 95. So here I see that we can take out 6y common. We are left with y minus 19, and from here we can take out 5 common. So we are again left with y minus 19. So y minus 19 being common, we will take it out. So we are left with 6y plus 5. So these are the factors of this given expression. 6y square minus 109y minus 95 is actually the product of y minus 19 and 6y plus 5. Note it down, note this factorization, and then we will solve it to get the value of y. Let us move ahead. What is our factors, guys? We need to find the value of y. So if I look at the factors, it is y minus 19 and 6y plus 5. Y minus 19 times 6y plus 5. To get the value of y, we will equate it with 0. So this implies that y minus 19 equals to 0 or 6y plus 5 equals to 0. So in that case, if y minus 19 is equals to 0, y equals to 19, or here y would be 5 goes there, becomes minus 5 and 6 drops down, it is y equals to minus 5 by 6. Now guys, we have two values of y. Think about it. Are both of them correct, or should we take any one of them? Let us read the question. What is y actually? Y represents the value or the cost, and cost will never be negative, isn't it? So that means we will not take y to be minus 5 by x. Y is equals to 19. That is our answer. Right? I hope this part is clear to you as well. Note it down for your reference, and then we will move ahead to the next part.